What is up, my YouTube familia? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back into another banger of a video. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about my side effects with my LINX and the LINX implant that I had about 4 years ago. Before you watch this video, I will recommend you to go watch the Nissen fundoplication side effects video because I explain a little bit on what's going on. Remember that I had the Nissen fundoplication first and I had that for 2 years. I had to get that reversed. And then in the same surgery, I had the LINX implanted into my LES, right? And even during that surgery, I had to take my mesh got taken out, everything. It was just a big procedure for me. So I would recommend you to go watch that video. Make sure that I post the video in the link description and also somewhere in the info card so you guys can just click on it and watch that first before you watch this one so you guys can understand a little bit better where I'm coming from. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. The first thing that I want to start with is I want you guys to, if you saw the first video, I want you guys to remember that a lot of my side effects came from the Nissen fundoplication procedure, but there are still some small side effects with the LINX procedure that I want to get into. And one of them is dysphagia, right? For some reason, after having the LINX procedure, not right away, but maybe a year and 2 years into it, I felt like my dysphagia got worse, especially when I got sick. Now, I used to get sick with the Nissen fundoplication when I had the Nissen fundoplication, right? Like if I got like the flu or, well, at that time, COVID wasn't around, but something familiar to that, like a virus or something or an infection, I didn't feel like my esophagus or my dysphagia was really affected by that. But when it came to the LINX, whenever I get COVID, I get an infection in my stomach, anything of that nature, it seems like my dysphagia is affected. And now, could it be because I've had the LINX for a longer period of time than the Nissen? Maybe. Could it be because, COVID, it's a new virus and it hits the body different? Maybe. I know some of you guys don't believe in COVID, but listen, man, I got in COVID 3 times and I've been just hit like a truck all 3 times. So it is what it is, but it's hitting me very, very, very hard. So, and even afterwards, I feel like every now and then I get symptoms of dysphagia. To give you an update on what my doctor believes, we've discussed this, I think, last year in some of the videos. He believed that my LINX might be too tight, right? I believe that my LINX might be too loose. And he wanted to do I think a 48-hour Bravo study, and that I haven't gone through it yet because I felt like I just didn't want to go through more procedures. I didn't want to, be put to sleep again. So because of that, I feel like I've given it just time. But if my body, I think it might be time for me to start doing more testings and more studies on my LES, my esophagus, on to see how I can resolve my gastro issues. Because if you haven't seen my videos after the LINX procedure, I still suffer from acid reflux, unfortunately, and even regurgitation issues. That's the reason we're trying to check things farther to see what's happening. So every time that my doctor went in, though, after the LINX procedure, he saw that everything looked good. Like it's supposed to be working well, right? Like the LINX is supposed to be working well according to him. And unfortunately, it's not, taking care of a lot of things that I needed to, like the acid reflux and the regurgitation issues, because I still suffer from it. Now the dysphagia, could it be because I've been suffering from GERD for a long time? It's a possibility. It could be a mixture of things, but I just know when I had the Nissen fundoplication, my dysphagia necessarily wasn't. I don't think I even suffer from it. Now, I'm not counting that dysphagia that you get as soon as you get surgery, because as soon as you get either procedure, the Nissen fundoplication or the LINX, you're bound to have some type of dysphagia. Sometimes your food might get stuck, in that area because, it's still inflamed. There's a lot of inflammation going on. Your body's still healing. And then, of course, your body's getting used to the surgery. So that doesn't count because I had a bad experience with that right after my LINX procedures for sure. I remember I was, choking on tacos as I was eating, and it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. I got all pale and everything because I was so scared that I was just choking on food. and it wouldn't go down, and it took a while to go down. So I'm not necessarily referring to that, but the dysphagia that comes later on, I feel like that only started happening with the LINX, or after I had the LINX procedure. Again, a lot of things could have played a role in it, but while I was with the Nissan, that didn't necessarily happen. So that's something you might have to, want to consider. I like, again, my doctor checked my Nissan because I had another endoscopy like a couple months after the LINX procedure, maybe a year after, and he saw that it's supposed to be, working well, but unfortunately it's not. So I have to get that definitely taken care of. Another one is, of course, the spasms that you get. I feel like this time around, the spasms in the LES section, so in this area, I feel like they were pretty bad sometimes, right? You feel the spasms, you feel it hurting sometimes, and sometimes it can be random. Now, I would say that these episodes happen more often once I got the surgery, and a couple months after. But every now and then they still seem to happen, right? Sometimes it gets triggered by food. Sometimes either maybe I'm working out or exercising, and sometimes it's just random. I'm really not sure, but sometimes the spasms really do happen. Now, if the LINX had to work perfectly for me and everything was like all my symptoms were cured and I had spasms, would I be saying anything about it? No, not really. I would have been like, I'll take the spasms over the acid reflux and the regurgitation issues that I suffer from, any day of the week. So, but unfortunately, they do become a little bit harder because I'm still suffering from certain things. So the spasm is really something I feel like it's really, really hard to deal with. Moving on to a third side effect that I feel like never went away, and this was part of one of my main symptoms from the Nissan complication, which was gas and bloating. I still suffer from major gas and bloating. I am not sure if I would have had the LINX procedure first, if my gas would have been just as bad as my Nissan fundoplication, right? I'm not sure because I had the Nissan first. So all I know is that the Nissan for sure caused my body to always cause a lot of gas every time I eat food. And especially when I eat trigger foods, like maybe like fried foods, especially then it creates so much gas, maybe an excessive amount of cheese that you eat that can cause a lot of gas. It depends on, the trigger foods. Everybody's different. So you got to take that into consideration. But that in itself felt like I was like, man, the gas is really, really bad. And it's unfortunate because sometimes you can't pass the gas. Like if you're around, family, friends, or you're in an event, it's really hard to really pass gas. And even if you take a minute, like take 5, go outside or something, the gas doesn't just come out whenever you want it to come out. It comes out at random times. And that's the worst part. I'm just like, dude, like it comes out, whenever it wants to. And unfortunately, sometimes it's a lot. Like it's very, very excessive. If I don't let it out, if I don't let the gas out, I start having a lot of pain, excruciating pain actually, and a lot of discomfort on my lower abdomen, and everything just feels, bad, and you start feeling all these bloaty feelings. I'm just like, bro, it's really, really bad. So after the LINX, the gas and the bloating necessarily didn't get better from the Nissan fundoplication. There's a lot of symptoms that did get better because I feel like the LINX kind of my body went back to what it used to be almost prior to having the first procedure, if that makes sense. Again, if you want more info on my videos, make sure you go watch those because I am far ahead on the YouTube channel and I've posted so many videos on my updates, and eventually you'll get what I'm saying and where I'm coming from. But yeah, the gas and the bloating is something I feel like that never went away. I don't know what it was. I still don't know if the Nissan, or the Nissan fundoplication triggers something in my stomach that, now and probably forever, I'll always suffer from gas. Like it doesn't matter what I eat. I can watch my diet, but the gas will always happen. Of course, the trigger foods make it worse, but it always seems to happen. And I'm just like, it's very, very bad. Listen, let me tell you how bad that the gas can get. One time I was at a New Year's party with my family, and I remember eating, and I was around an event, it got to the point where I was holding my gas because I was around family and friends, and I'm not here passing gas. I went to the restroom, and when I went to the restroom, like the gas wouldn't pass. But as soon as I came back, I would want to fart, and I'm just like, man, like what, like what's going on? So eventually, I was just holding it, and I remember I kept eating some snacks or whatever, and then drinking some water or whatnot. But eventually it got to the point where so much gas had accumulated in my abdomen and in my intestines and even in my stomach that all that pressure was coming up to my chest. And that caused me to have tachycardia. And it started, my heart rate was at a normal level, and it went up to like 120, 130, 140, 150, very high, to the point where I had to go to the ER because I thought I was suffering from something else. And how do I know that it was the gas that caused me that? Because when I got to the hospital and they got me into the emergency room, I started letting out my gas, right? And eventually, after a couple minutes, I started feeling better. My heart rate started going down. The pressure from my chest started decreasing. And I was like, oh my God, I literally came to the ER because of my gas. Like, what do you do then? And my friend that was there, I even told her, I was like, hey, I'm gonna pass gas. Like, you can step out the room, but I need to pass gas. And she's, no, it's okay. She was cool. She was cool with it. I mean, I was already in the ER. She felt bad. I feel bad. And it was just a really, really, I don't know. It's a bad experience. It's an unfortunate experience. Somewhat embarrassing experience. And that's all because of the surgeries. Prior to the surgeries, I never had this amount of gas coming out of me. And it's every time I eat, by the way. So, those are the three things that I feel like I suffered from the LINX, and even afterwards. Again, some of it might be even because the need for duplication started and it's continuing with the LINX. I can't really have like hard answers or some things because I just don't know. There's some things that I won't, ever know. But I feel like those were some of the side effects that I feel like were major to me. And of course, if you take into consideration the fact that I'm still, having reflux issues and regurgitation issues, I'm not sure if that's a side effect. It's just the symptoms we're not healed. I feel like this year I'm gonna start concentrating more on trying to heal my body, maybe going to another procedure this year or the following year, because I feel like it's about that time. It's getting to a point where it's getting out of hand, and I don't want it to get extremely worse. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna be praying about it, but I'm gonna keep you guys updated. Of course, I know that I've been updating a lot on my podcast, and I'm excited to have a podcast and having friends over and making a lot of shorts and stuff. But always remember that I'm gonna keep my videos and my updates on my life always, because I feel like that is what my channel was built on. So I'm always gonna stick with that and hopefully give you guys an update and always try to respond. I usually respond a lot on my YouTube channel, so if you have a question, comment, or concern, or even a tip that you might have, hey, put it down in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like the videos. Don't forget to turn on the notifications so whenever I go live or I post a video, you guys get the noties, and you guys can watch the video. So thank you guys for watching. If I missed anything else, just let me know in the comment section. And if you need me to do another video or anything else, just let me know as well. Some of the videos that are coming up this month and probably by the end of the year, I know I have ideas for how to eat at Thanksgiving with GERD while living with GERD. I think it will be a very good video. Also, I can provide some tips and stuff, and what I do necessarily in my case. I think it'll be helpful to a lot of people suffering from acid reflux, GERD, and all that stuff. And then, of course, I want to make a video of a day in my life, how I carry my life. I did that at the beginning of my YouTube channel. People have been requesting, like, what do you do in your daily life? How do you stay fit? Because physically you look good, and at least that's what people say, but making videos that, just, I guess, give people a better idea of what I go through in my daily life. What do I do? What do I eat? The supplements that I take, all that good stuff. So some of the videos and ideas that I have for future videos. So stay around. Don't forget, again, to like and subscribe. And I think that's about all. So thank you guys for the love. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys on the next video. As always, peace and love, familia. Dude.